Guys, I'm messing around with a few new pedals. I'll show you some of these. Of course, I'm just noodling around here. I'll show you some of these pedals on this board I had built. I've only used it a few times. It's got a original Landgraf number 11 Landgraf overdrive, a Demeter tremulator, old Boss DM2 that I've used for years down on Broadway with Don Kelly 20 years ago. Back in the old days when you used to be able to park your car right in front of the front door on a Saturday night. I got an Echoplex delay pedal with a tap tempo, an old ODR1 Nobles, an RC booster, and a Boss tuner. I'll show you that in a minute. It sounds pretty good. I'm still getting it dialed in. But anyway, guys, check this out. I want to show you a couple things here about how to connect some of these. I know I'm jumping right in. I actually leave tomorrow morning to go to the Newport Folk Festival with Mr. John Oates. And John Michelle is going to play a little percussion and light drums, as we call them. Percussive accessories, if you will. Me and John Oates, 2 acoustic guitars. We play at 3:45 Eastern Time in Newport, Rhode Island at the Newport Folk Festival. And since I was named after Woody Guthrie and met Pete Seeger a long time ago and a lot of the folkies, man, it's kind of holds a special place in my heart. I'm looking forward to playing this festival. It's going to be, I'm proud to be there. I'm doing an interview Saturday morning at 11:30. So we'll see what that entails. Gibbons threw me a bone the other day in a magazine. I'll post that when it comes out at some point, but it's pretty cool, man. He had one sentence and that was it. And man, it was really awesome. So he's doing good. He's been in Europe for 3 months and he's back. I said, man, how do you do it? I mean, this guy is, him and Oates, man, they're both nonstop. I guess that's what you do. If you stop, you stop. If you don't, you don't. So, man, thanks for all the comments on the stories I've been posting. I got some dandies coming for you guys, man. I got one I'm going to tell you about an afternoon that I was about to go to a gig where I ate something
and it made me feel funny. And my grandmother was there, and she was, you know, busting me on some stuff, and that's a crazy story. And I'll tell you, there's another one that involves some Florida State Police, state troopers, going to a gig. I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about all this stuff. I'm going to start writing some stuff down and sharing some of these stories with you guys. A couple good ones from the Floribama that are definitely rated R. So you get the idea. I mean, it was the adventure continues, as I like to say, friends. But I want to shed a little light. I've been working on a couple things here that I'm going to try to show you, and they really don't have a whole lot to do with the intro. That was just some little kind of like gospel, R&B, soul kind of stuff I was just messing around with there for fun. These little double stops, you know. The old 5/4 or whatever that is. So anyway, check this out. So all that stuff comes from chords. Look. All out of chord shapes. So it's about these big shapes and breaking them. Them down, right? Reducing. So it's almost like you got to learn a bunch of stuff, and then the rest of your life you're spending forgetting about it, right? So anyway, these little things like this, like, okay, how to use scales, how to use this stuff, how to make it musical. Okay, well, here's a great example. If I'm in E minor, say I'm going from E minor to A minor. Let's see. So E minor, A minor, D to G. Let's just take that right there. So okay, you've heard that chord progression probably somewhere. So if I wanted to start outlining that in a really musical way, I'm going to take different, intervals of this chord, different degrees of the chord. The 5, the flat 3, the 1, the 5, the flat 3, the 1. These are my chord tones. So I'm going to take this big chord. Well, what's really making that sound is the chords changing. I mean, this is like fundamental caveman shit, as simple as you can think of. Like, okay, well, if I want to play over chords, the reason this sounds like it does is because of this group of notes moving. So it's like, okay, or, what's really moving around there? You can hear melody right there. Right? So if I'm here, there's my E minor scale, right? So if I'm going E minor to A minor, I'm going to reduce this down to a triad. Then there's my next note. So if I had to play it with an open, just so you can hear the bass notes. Right, so then, because that flat 3 of the A melody note becomes, when you play the D chord, that note automatically becomes and tells your ear that now that's the flat 7, and we're starting to get into the D dominant D7 territory. So G, right? So right back to G. So it's really, I guess we're playing the G major scale, but I don't like to think about that, because if I played the G major scale over these chords, sure, it might work, but I want to think of each individual chord, right? Because that means when I'm playing another song and there's an E minor there, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I know where to go. I've got my E minor stuff. I'm not thinking about, we're changing chords, not changing keys, okay? So here again, real simple chord stuff. E minor, A minor, right out of that shape. So again, or if I wanted to go here, it's gonna start sounding like autumn leaves. I get it, I get that. But that's a great way to do it. So, you know, that's how I'm thinking about this stuff. The high note of the chord is leading you on this melodic path. And so you gotta start, so like, you know, I could play the top note, right? The 5, instead of starting on the flat 3. I could do that, watch. Right? So there's different degrees of these chords, starting on the 5, the flat 3, the root. Those are all going to give you different results of melodic content, right? So, you know, again, you know, if I'm in a major chord, you know, C. Around here, but you know, walk-ups also, let's see, so about these triads here too, right? So these are the exercises that are going to really help you see this stuff. But you got to practice this to see that. C, F, G, C, F, G, C, F, G, C. So then I can go. About familiarizing yourself with this stuff. But again, you know, C, right? So right up the pentatonic. You got to hear these melodies though. It's about listening. So C, that's G7. Right, here's a great exercise. relationships together. Okay, so if, obviously, guys, hey man, look, I'm doing a private lesson sale. I got to tell you that private lesson sale, 20% off tiers 1 and 2. Check my website, GuthrieTrapp.com, for lessons and all that. Also, of course, TrueFire Artist Works. This is just scratching the surface. If you want to ask me some specific questions and dial in your playing, these are like, this is like, learning from somebody that has a lot of experience versus these guys on YouTube. Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the blind leading the blind out there on YouTube, man. I sent Uncle Larry a couple videos yesterday, and I was like, man, can you believe that these guys are teaching people the guitar? It's like they're not even in tune or anything. It's just unbelievable, man. You gotta tune your guitar. I mean, come on, guys, let's get real. It's just like, man, there's like 4 people on YouTube that are actually showing you something that is not going to take you down a 20-year wrong rabbit hole. Let's just get real here. So again, if you want the deep dive and you want to really hone in on this stuff, check out these lessons, man. I do them all the time. And I've got a lot of testimonials. Maybe I should share some of those, but man, these guys are like, dude, you guys are really helping me see the guitar. Guys like you and Uncle Larry and Jack Roosh, who I went and saw last night down at Kimbrough's. What a fucking badass band he's got, man. Jack Roosh is a ferocious guitar player, but he doesn't really show it on his YouTube channel. He's so polite, but you go see him play live, man, and he is like, he's digging in, man. He's a seriously soulful, tasteful cat with a lot of restraint, and I admire that. Anyway, getting back to this, just, guys, just focus on these chords and really getting inside and looking at what's actually making these chord changes. So there's a little bit of that. Can't wait to go to Newport this weekend, and then I go to Spain in October, and there's a bunch of stuff coming up. Country Music Hall of Fame Museum, not museum, but Country Music Hall of Fame Theater with Oates, the duo, and this record with Uncle Larry, man. If you guys want to help support these projects, I got to push up on you too, man. Don't forget about the tip jug below. That really helps. We've got some really amazing donations from some guys, unbelievably generous, and you know who you are, and I really, really appreciate it. But, we're not panhandling here. We're making good livings, but, man, it does, to keep this YouTube channel and stuff going, man, it does help and keep us motivated to buy some of our lessons, buy some of our stuff. And so when the Uncle Larry record is coming out, the live trio footage and audio and video, I just got to sift through all these projects, man. It's a lot of stuff. So anyway, guys, thanks a bunch for that blabbering on of a bunch of bullshit here, but appreciate you guys. I read all the comments. They don't go unnoticed, and it means a lot to me, man. And we got to stick together. Authenticity is a dying breed, so let's keep it going. Thanks. All right, guys, here's this little pedal board that we put together a while back. It's a great sounding pedal board. That's the original number 11 Landgraf overdrive on the upper right, then the Demeter tremulator, old Boss DM2, great slapback. Echoplex with tap tempo, original Nobles, RC booster, and tuner. And then I got some other stuff I've been playing with here. The Empress, we've got the Earthquake devices, this little thing here I've been messing with. That's an old Nobles. It's kind of some kind of custom thing. The Cloudburst I love. I'm just showing you shit laying on the floor here. This is the bag I take when I need just extra stuff. This is the OG pedal board I used on tons of stuff for a long time. And then I don't know where my other little pedal board is, probably downstairs. But then, of course, the Danocaster. I'm just showing you all of this for fun because I want to show you that little board. Here's my official settings for some of these YouTube videos. It changes. These little minute differences are, you're not really gonna change people's lives by going from here to here. I mean, it's real subtle stuff here, friends. Anyway. That's the little setup, just having some fun, plugging in some stuff here. I'm not a huge collector. I mean, this is about the extent of my stuff I have. I don't have a lot of stuff. I just use what works for me. And that's about it, folks. But I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, bye.